So in this video, I'm going to be showing on how to create a web page using HTML. So to begin with, I have to create a new folder where I'll be saving my things. Let me name it Google. Okay. So I'm going to need an image in the process. So I have to save the image in this folder so that we won't have some problems when we were trying to find it. So there is our image inside this folder. So now to begin with, we have to go and open our notepad. There is our notepad, and then we have to write the HTML structure. Doc type HTML, and then HTML opening tag. Then we have to close the HTML. Right, then we come inside here, we open the opening tag for the head, for the heading, and then title, and then we have to close the title. Then again we close the head. There we go. And then we have to open our body tag, because everything we write in HTML, we write it right inside the body. So we come here, then we close the body. Right, so now I'm going to create a login form for someone who has gotten a Google account. So maybe that someone wants to log into his account. So I'm going to give this a title called login. So I write it right there, login. I'm going to show you where it will be visible. So for us to see if we've managed to create the create the page, we have to save this thing. So I'll save this thing, save as login.html, and then I want to save these things right inside that folder which we created on the desktop. So we come here and save. Now let's go and check out in our folder if we have managed to create this thing successfully. So now you can see that there's a browser there which is showing that there's something which has been created there. So if we click in there, we'll find out that there is our web page, but there's nothing on the web page yet because we haven't written anything, right? But there is a title, login, which is written on top there because we have written a title called login. Okay, so now let's go back and do our designs. So to begin with, we would like to put an image on our web page. So you write img src, meaning source, the source where we are going to find our image. Then in quotes, our image is called desktop. It is called desktop, the one which you saved in that folder. So you write desktop.jpg because that's a JPG image. And then we have to put the height for the image. Maybe we can just say 200. And then we also have to put the length, and then we say 200 as well. Okay, so I forgot to put a form here. You have to put a form here so that these things will be shown on a form, inside a form. So if you open the form, you have to close the form as well. Right, so there we go. Now we'll be having a form inside the body. So if you put an image there, then you have to break so that whatever follows will be on the next line and not in the same line with the image. Then you press enter so that you'll be writing your things underneath. So now we'll need to see so now we have our image, and then we'll need someone to enter his or her email address. So if we do that, and then we input these things, input, so input type is equals to text. So this is going to be text. Then we close the input. Then we break so that this thing will be shown. What follows will be shown in the next line. So we're going to put an email. Then, okay, pause. So since it's an email, we can even write email in there instead of text. We can write email so that by the time you enter the email address, if you leave out that @ sign, the one which you use for emails, it will tell you that you have to put the @ sign. And then so we're going to need an email address, and then we're going to need a password. So you write password there. At the same time, input type. Instead of writing text, you can write password so that this password won't be visible to anyone the time you are entering it. Then you have to close your input and then put some breaks as well. The BR is for the breaks, so that whatever follows will be written in the next line instead of following one after the other. So now we need a button. So that when we click that button, after having entered the email and the password, then if we click the button, we'll be able to log in into our account. So if you say button, and then the button must be written log in, then we come here and close the button. There we go. So if we save this, and then we go to our web page to see if what you have written. Right, there we are. There we go. So now we see that we have created our web page, log in, and we have our image there. We have the space where we can enter our email. So if maybe someone tries to do this, and then if you leave out the @ like I was just saying, then you come here and write the password. Right, it will tell you to please include an @ in the email address because it's already knowing that it's an email. So if you put @ now, @ gmail.com, now you see, right, that's what's going on there. So now we have to design our web page so that it will look more nicer than this. But before we design it to look more nicer, I would like to maybe create another web page where someone will be able to register his or her account in case he doesn't have the account. So this web page is only for those who have got an account already. So I want the other one for the ones who doesn't have an account. Okay, so let's go back here. I just want these things to be in the same line, NBSP. So if I do this, copy, then I paste and I paste again, then I save. If I go and check this out, right, you see that something happened here. It moved from here, so I want these things to be in the same line. So if I go and put another NBSP there, then save. If I come here and refresh this page, you see now it's in the same line as the text box for the password. Right. So now we have our login. Then we go again and open Notepad, so that we want to, for those who don't have the registration, those who have accounts, they'll be able to register. So now if we come here, let's close this. Right, if we come here, job type HTML, we close the HTML, we come inside the HTML, we have our head. Right inside the head, you can put title. Right in between the title, this one is registration form. Then we close the title tag, then we close the head, and then open our body. We close the body tag. Then we come in here. Since it's a form, we open a form. Then at the same time, we close the form. Right, form, there we go. So in this case, we don't need an image. So what we do is that, since it's the registration thing, we'll need a name. Right, so we need the person's first name. Okay, let's say first name, then input type is equal to, we're going to say text, right? Text. Then we don't write anything in between this text, because we want the tag to be clear, so that the person will be able to enter his or her details. We just close the input tag, so we can copy and paste this thing so that we won't take time. Copy, paste, right, but we mustn't forget to put some breaks here. Let's not forget to put breaks, so that the following text will be showing in the next line. So we're going to need a first name and surname, right? But we need these things to have some spaces in between. So we are going to use this NBSP, so that they'll leave some space in between the first name and the second name. So if you copy this, then we paste, right, then so we have the first name and the second name. Then we're going to need an email address. And then here, instead of writing text, we are going to put email. And then we are going to need a password. Right, so we write password. So this is going to be password instead of text. To be password. And then we put break. There we go. So now let's save this in the same folder as the one which we saved our login. So now this one is, we're going to call it reg.html, right? And then save in the desktop, right? Desktop Google, right? Yes. Then we save. Then we go and check out if we have created it successfully, right? Google, there we go, we have our reg there. So if we open there, we're going to see that we have that. Okay, so this one is a form for registration, right? So then we go back to our code. Now we'll need a button for us to register, so that if we click that button, it will tell us that now we have to submit the form after having filled all the details which are needed. So our button is going to be called submit. There we go. Now I would like us to link these things using I would like to create a link, so that if someone doesn't have an account, he will click on the link which will direct him or her to the page of registration. But if he or she has got an account already, but she opened a registration form, the link will then direct her to the login form, right? So I'm going to write this. Okay, let's break here before we write that. Break, and then there we go. So if you already have an account, if you already have an account, right? If you already have an account, now we are creating a link. Href is equal to, so now you write the name of the login. So you see login.html. That's how you create a link. You write the name of the page which you want to link to, right? So now our link will be returned. So that statement will be on top if you already have an account, right? Click here, right? Then you close your link, then save. So if we go back to that to the login form, you also need to create a link in the login form, so that we will be able to link this thing. Href is equal to reg.html, right? So this one, you have to write a statement above this thing. If you don't have an account, if you do not have an account. Click here to register. Right, then you save. So now if we go to our web page, right, then we refresh it, there we go. So if you already have an account, click here. So if you click here, now it will take you to the page where you can log in because you already have an account. But if you do not have an account, then you have to click here to register. So if you click there, it will take you to this page where you're supposed to enter your details so that you register. So now here you want to create your email, johnsam@gmail.com. Then you have to put your password and then you submit. But if you already have an account, you click here. You click here, then you come here and enter your email at gmail.com. Then you put your password, then you log in. So this is how you create your web page. So in our next episode, I'm going to be showing you on how that form which we created will be only visible in this part only which we want, and not the whole page. Thank you.